Here we go. Victory Monday tomorrow. I am with Harrison Glaser, the Jet Show, and I'm Italy Jet on everything NYJ post-game show. Guys, 40-17, baby. Let's go. All right, Harrison, let's start with you. How do you feel?
Bro, I feel great, and we should all feel great. This is another Jet win. We're sitting in the positive right now. If this was a money thing, we ain't in the red. We're in the green right now, man. We got a 3-2 record. And so many great things about this Jet game, but it was such a big Jet win. And that's the thing that needs to be emphasized. So we knew division game. Like we knew division games are so important. Even Joe Douglas, Robert Saleh, everyone's emphasized you have to win your division games. But Saleh gave that amazing speech just, like a week or two ago about closing the gap, showing how bad we've been in our division. That shit ends now. Well, man, the Jets had a division win, but they had a huge division win. They put up 40 points. That was the first time the Jets have put up 40 points since October 24th, 2018. Literally, basically 4 years ago was the last time we were putting up offensive points like that. So many positives in this game. We're 3-2 for the first time since 2017. And now we're in second place in the AFC East, man. We're just behind Buffalo. We're in place 2 right now. So now we got the Finns and the Patriots behind us. Man, Zach wins. See, he's 2-0 on the season so far. And I looked this up. I thought this was really cool, too. It's his first back-to-back wins as an NFL starter in the NFL. So that's just freaking awesome for him. And he talked about that when they interviewed him about it, and I loved it. In Jack's interview, they asked him about getting 5 wins. Literally said it's exciting, but we understand how long a season is. We know how many games we got left. It's about stacking these days up and moving on to the next one. Man, he's already thinking about the next game. He's already thinking about more wins. Man, I freaking love it. Just such a huge Jet game. So many things. We got 5 rushing touchdowns. That was the first time the Jets have had 5 rushing touchdowns since 1993.
Wow.
Like we had a big division win, and it was a huge win. When they asked Saleh about it, he said it was awesome. He said double-digit wins are hard to come by in this league. He said the team was really good in all 3 phases, and like Zach Wilson said, hopefully it's the first of many. So, man, we're closing that gap little by little. I'm excited. Man, Jet fans should be on cloud 9 right now. Let's go.
Agreed. Jet Show.
What's up, my man? What's up? Man, dude, man, I am elated, man. This is absolutely beautiful. You know what I mean? Like, we spoke last night on my show, and I was telling you, I was like, dude, I'm predicting a blowout. What did we get today, guys? What did we get today?
I was thinking about that.
Right? I also mentioned to everybody to bet your mortgage. And I hope you guys risk your mortgage today, because if you did, you probably reap the benefits. But seriously, though, in all seriousness, man, I'm through the roof right now. I can't lie to you guys, man. Just to see these guys perform the way they did, and we didn't have a tremendous passing game yet. We still put up 40 points today, man. This has said a lot about this Jets offense. You know, we're very versatile from looking at this game. How we didn't stick to the passing game and we just ran it down their throats today. 5 rushing touchdowns, man. That's unbelievable, absolutely bananas. I'm looking forward to seeing what we do in our next game, but we're gonna bathe in the victory right now. I think Zach looked very poised today. He looked very under control, like he understood the assignment. Today, he didn't try to force anything. He didn't overthink anything. I didn't see him scrambling for his life too much like he did against Pittsburgh. And those are the things that you want to see in your future potential franchise quarterback. You know, you want him to see, the poise and him controlling the team, understanding what needs to be done. And kudos, man, to 2 guys other than Zach on that offense. AVT for playing right tackle. He's played every position except for center. This guy is the MVP in my book. And also to our young running back, Breece Hall, man. This guy was absolutely electric today. That wheel route where he caught, when he ran for 50, 60 some yards, dude, I lost it. I literally lost it when I saw that today. I think I was chatting in green beans video today, and as soon as I did like the super chat, and I was like, "This offense makes me angry," in my Yoda's voice, and as soon as it came, as soon as he posted it on his channel, that's when that big catch happened. And like Green Bean and I think Jets, Jeremy from Jets Chaos, they all died laughing. They was like, show perfect timing, man, perfect timing. You know what I mean? So guys, I'm elated, man. Great win today. I'm looking forward to looking at rewatching the tape. I'm looking forward to seeing some of the post game interviews with our guys, man. Let's keep it going. 3-2, man. And this has been a long time coming. Let's go, Jets.
Man, I'm with you, dude. It's since 2015, man.
Mm-hmm.
2015, we haven't won a divisional game. This is the first time in 22 games that we even led going into the third quarter as well. I mean, it's a lot of positives. It's a lot of positives. I don't remember feeling like this. It's been a long time.
Yes.
And the thing is, I know Michael Carter gets a lot of crap in the running back position, but man, I never give up on that guy. He had scored 2 touchdowns. Hall was phenomenal.
Mm-hmm.
I'm so excited about the duo that we have.
Yes.
But I got a question for you guys. Conklin and Uzomah, it seems like the roles were reversed. So I got a question. What do you think they were thinking? Harrison, we'll start with you.
I think ironically, the tight end position hasn't been what we really expected. We thought it was going to be, for the first time in years, that safety belt position, middle of the field, making, the tough 5-yard catch and fighting for the first down. We're not seeing that. I mean, even with the times Conklin's been hit, it's been it seems like at least 8 or more yards. They went deep for him on a 50-50 ball. It's a different role than I kind of expected, which is interesting. I mean, the wide receivers are playing well, and the running backs are looking great. So maybe it's just the way they're scheming it, potentially.
Right.
I mean, I'm like, we're not part of, how LaFleur is planning it out. We know, there's always adaptive and changing things. So maybe the tight end has become more of a blocking role, and I'm not even seeing those short passes as much. It seems like for short passes, I'm seeing that more to guys like Garrett, Elijah, and the tight end. Again, it seems like anytime Conklin's hit, it's 8, 10, 15 yards downfield, or that big, 50-50 catch, which would have been nice for him to come up with. He's a big dude. I mean, he should have been able to physically get that over the guy he was against, but still, the tight end position is an interesting one for me right now. I mean, for like the reasons I was just saying, I really don't get the way it's being used, but hey, we're winning. So right now, if we keep winning, that's all that matters, right?
Right.
Keep putting those W's up, and they can use the tight ends however they want if those W's keep coming up.
Right. I agree. Show, what's up, man?
What's up, my man?
Tell me.
I have to agree, man. Like, I was shocked that we haven't used the tight ends as much as, we all thought coming into the season. I think that was one of the big knocks against LaFleur at one point, especially when we were losing. It was like, okay, we're losing, dude. We brought 2 dominant tight ends, and why are we not using these guys? I think that was a big hit, especially when we, receiving the loss or the L's. But looking at it now, it's like, well, maybe this is what he really wanted to do. Just strictly use them as just good blocking tight ends. If somehow they become open, of course, you throw the ball to them. So maybe this is what Mike LaFleur really wants to do. I remember during the draft when we drafted Breece Hall, and I remember Robert Saleh just looking over at Mike LaFleur and smiling like, okay, you got your boy. You got the guy that you want. You know what I mean? So in my mind, looking at the game today, I'm like, maybe this is what Mike LaFleur really wants to do. And being honest, if it works, hey, let's do it. I know the NFL right now is pass heavy, but hell, I mean, excuse my language, man. But if the team can't stop, you from running the ball, man, hey, keep running it. Why put Zach Wilson in harm's way? Why risk him throwing interceptions if your guys can, block well, the offensive line, the tight ends, and your 2 dynamic duo, man, they can run the ball as well as they did today. I mean, this was absolutely the perfect game plan for Miami today. And like I previously said, I was like, when it was 17-19, my mind was like, they don't have any star cornerbacks in. Why are we not using Garrett Wilson? And the guys stuck to their guns, man. They did not waver. They did not change the game plan. They stuck to a great game plan, and we see the results, 40-17. Let's go Jets.
Agreed, man. I'm with you. Brandon
Yes.
Leon, thanks for coming on the show. I like we established the run, but can we do both? I mean, I think we could do both. It's just they're just not really doing. I mean, I'm gonna go more of what Wilson has been doing. Like, I still think Wilson needs to shrug off some things. I don't
Mhm.
think he's at that full potential. I just don't think he scrambled a lot more last year, and did productive things while he was scrambling. I still think that he's going backwards a little bit for me. So I think every time he's in the pocket, he's doing fine. He's got his offensive line is not protecting him as much, right? He's got to throw him quick. But I think if he can correct the scrambling part, just like he did with the rushing touchdown, that was great. I was freaking out, but I was great. It was good because every time Zach, runs, I'm constantly like, oh, just don't get injured. But yes, I really do think that they can do both. It's just LaFleur is being picky right now, and I think they still need to spread the ball. I love what they did with Berrios, and me and Harrison, we were talking about that a lot. How the trick plays. We got to add those trick plays with Berrios because that's where we get the best out of him, in my opinion.
Mhm.
As the game goes on, going into the third quarter, was there a split second for both of you guys that they were going to come back? Harrison, we'll start with you.
So on that, but like Brandon kind of pointed out, with the run, like you were saying, can we do both? I kind of felt like both were there. I mean, the Dolphins played a pretty good defense. I mean, they did shut our running game was very good. They did shut our receiving game down a decent amount. And if you look at the passing numbers, I mean, Zach Wilson averaged pretty much 10 yards, actually, literally, right? Yeah, he averaged 10 yards per throw. So every throw was a first down. He only threw the ball 21 times, but had over 200 yards. He didn't have any touchdowns, but also didn't have any interceptions. He was only sacked twice, and his rating was almost 100. So I think the passing game was there. I think the Dolphins, again, just played a pretty good D, and they're not getting enough credit for that. But the running game, man, I mean, you guys said with Brees Hall, man, I mean, I knew like we had something special in him. We've talked about him a lot, like what he was in college, supposed to be a first-round pick. We knew what this kid could be, but it's like the same thing with Garrett and Sauce. The fact that they're contributing at such a high rate already is crazy. Like there's no learning curve. There's just absolutely no learning curve for these three guys. Elijah Moore had a learning curve. Even AVT, if you remember, like the first 2 weeks, he struggled last year a little bit, and we talked about, what's going on? And then he picked it up as the season went on. He's amazing now. He's one of our best players, but everyone has a learning curve. Somehow these guys don't. Sauce, great from day one. Garrett, great from day one. And Brees, man, just 3 yards short of 100 yards rushing, averaged 5.25 yards every time he ran the ball, and he only caught the ball twice and had 100 receiving yards. I mean, man, Brees Hall is unfreaking believable. So I think it was more you ride the hot hand. The running game was outstanding. Him and Michael Carter were a great tandem. And like you mentioned, Show, the offensive line looking a lot better. Dwayne Brown really solidified that. And he is a guy that doesn't get enough credit. I mean, you have to remember, his shoulder is still not 100%. He was out there, if you saw, with like that sling on his labrum.
I saw that.
He had the sling on his labrum. Because remember, in his interview, they said, did you feel like you needed surgery? And he kind of said that it really could have been an option, but he wanted to play. He knows he's 37 years old. He knows this might be his last year. He wanted to play, and man, he was good. We saw they were kind of, for a while, running heavily to the right, leaning on him and Lakin to open up the gaps. So I think it was more just running the hot hand. But if you look at the passing numbers, I think they were there. It was just more, leaning on the hot running game.
Show, what you think?
I agree, man. It was a well-balanced attack today. I don't think you want to throw Zach in the fire too heavy right now. Coming off the injury, you want to slowly, pull him back in. And looking at the, like I said just a minute ago, man, I think it was just the perfect game plan today. Don't force it too much, Zach. Don't overthink it, Zach. I think that's been one of the biggest things that Coach Saleh has been saying. He don't want the guys to overthink anything. He wants them to kind of understand their assignment and then attack. And I think this was just the perfect execution today, man. It doesn't get any better than this, being honest, guys. We didn't have any turnovers. We forced the turnovers. We control the TOP, time of possession. I mean, everything that you would want your team to do. We didn't have a lot of penalties today, especially like the bonehead penalties, as I like to say. It's third and long, and one of the guys, roughing the quarterback or whatever the case is. Like those things were eliminated today, man. And I hate to say it so loosely, we almost played a perfect game today. The game plan was solid. They executed, and we came out on top, man. I'm very elated about this win. The execution, like I say, was 50-50. I kind of want to see a little more passing, but I can't take away from the fact that the running game took away, the possibility of passing it more. If you're running it and they can't stop it, hell, why go to the passing game? Keep running it. It's working. We put up 40 points today, and the defense was pretty good. Sauce, man, with his first interception today, man. It was just bananas in a positive way, man. The Sauce jersey, right? It's all about the Sauce. Oh, the safety that Sauce caused, the very first play of the game, and actually took the second string quarterback out, gave us the 2 points, man. So, yeah. As far as the offense, though, man, yeah, it was very well executed. Very balanced attack today. The running game dominated. They couldn't stop, man. Let's go, Jets.
And you know what? I'm not surprised that they kept running the ball because the Dolphins are one of the worst at defending the run. So I can kind of see why they did all that. And it only got better over time. Now, I don't know if you guys know, got a comment here, any word on JJ's injury?
Yeah.
So yeah, I heard it's still under evaluation, right, Harrison? Or do you know?
Yeah. So they asked Robert Saleh in the press conference after. He said it's his ankle.
Okay.
I mean, I don't want to. It's tough to read too into it. He didn't seem like he was that. Like he kind of said it's an ankle injury, and we're going to find out more. He didn't seem very nervous about it, but that's me just looking into it. I mean, I don't want to look too into it. You don't know what it's going to be, but it was an ankle. That's what they established. It's an ankle injury. What was interesting was he didn't get carded until he was on the sideline. So that makes you wonder, was it okay? And was it maybe just bad swelling or something that made it? We don't know, but we will hopefully find out, but we do know it is an ankle injury.
Gotcha. Okay. Let's go to Sean. Elijah Moore is disappointing in the offense. That's how good it is now. I don't know if I agree with that. What do you guys think about that? I don't know if I agree with that yet.
Well, he said disappearing. I can kind of understand why he's saying that because we're so used to Elijah Moore doing what Garrett Wilson has been doing thus far. You know what I mean? Like you're used to seeing Elijah Moore catching those 8-yard, 10-yard passes and and making this adjustments and gaining an extra 10 yards. But Garrett Wilson is kind of taking that. I hate to use that word taken, but he's using, Garrett Wilson is literally doing what Elijah Moore did last year. So now it's kind of like, the team has been kind of like all over the place this year as far as offensive wise. The switching with the offensive line, the Zach being injured in preseason, Flacco being in. Flacco probably had more of a chemistry with Garrett Wilson versus Elijah Moore because of the first team reps, you know what I mean, et cetera, et cetera. So I still think Elijah Moore is one of the better receivers in the NFL. It's just a matter of time before Zach get his rhythm. And being honest, I'm surprised that Corey Davis didn't have a good game today. Good game being like multiple receptions and maybe a touchdown today because I think we all know that Corey Davis is arguably Zach Wilson's favorite target. And I think after that, with Zach Wilson, it would be Elijah Moore. So I wouldn't say that Elijah Moore is being disappointing. He's maybe disappearing because of all the talent that we have now. You don't have to force feed it. You don't have to force feed it to him. You know what I mean? You can distribute the ball evenly. And being honest, that's one of the things that some of the critics were saying. How do you spread the ball to these guys with so much talent on your offensive roster? And now we're seeing the results of that. Which, being honest, being a Jets guy, a Jets fan, that's a good problem to have right now. It's just an excellent problem to have. Yeah.
I
So
agree.
again, and it's a live game. When it's live, it's a lot harder. Obviously, you're not looking at the all 22 angle. You can't see the secondary at every angle you want to.
Mm-hmm.
My take from what I can see felt like we weren't. If you remember the beginning of the season, it was we're getting crazy separation, crazy separation. Why are these guys not getting the ball? And again, have to go back and look at it. But from what I saw live, it didn't feel that way. It felt like even though the offensive line was holding up well, and again, surprising is they have corners that were out. They played a good game. And I think it's because of, again, we have Robert Saleh and we talk about the culture change. Well, that's what Mike McDaniel's doing. Mike McDaniel's doing the same thing there.
Yes.
And it's the same thing. Like when, perfect example, Skylar Thompson. Skylar Thompson had an unbelievable preseason to the point where he didn't want to even risk him potentially going anywhere else. He had an underappreciated game. I mean, for a 7th round pick playing in his first game ever, he had a pretty decent game. And I think that's, was a little throwing off for the Jets defense. Because, we figured, it's a 7th round pick. Teddy Bridgewater's out. But he actually played pretty well because it seems like there's a decent system in place there. And we've seen that with a lot of places, unfortunately, not anymore, which is great, but too many times in the past with the Patriots where they could lose a quarterback, even like Brady, and Castle comes in, not a great quarterback, but has a great year because there's a good system that he's part of. So I kind of got that vibe from McDaniel that he's basically doing what Saleh's doing for us. But on the topic of, Elijah Moore disappearing, I think, again, it's just spreading out more. I mean, Zach Wilson in his first 2 drives, he threw 5 receptions to 5 different people. So it's just having talent, which is a great thing. And that's kind of what I believe Sean was saying. If I go back to there, he said, that's how good it is now. It's, you have all these guys. There's so many different options. Again, those first 5 receptions, no one caught the ball twice. It was all different dudes. With Corey, I love that you brought up Corey's show because I thought it was crazy for a little while that people even thought that Corey Davis was on the trade block. I didn't even think that was true. I was like, he is an integral.
No way you trade Corey. No way.
We talked about, he's not the wide receiver 1 that we thought he might be, but he's an integral part of this offense.
Yes.
I was like, in my head, I was like, there's no way that he's actually going to possibly be traded. This is just, things people are talking about. And Corey Davis is an integral part of this offense. And we've seen that. Him, Elijah Moore, Garrett Wilson. I think it's going to vary, and we're going to see that. Last week, Corey Davis had a huge game, won it for us. The week before that, Garrett Wilson had the huge game. Maybe next week it'll be Elijah Moore. Hell, maybe one week it'll be Braxton Berrios.
Right.
So many guys that can do it, and that's the the big point. But with Sean, because Sean brought up some really great comments. Shout out to Sean. He also brought up earlier. He said Sauce and Reed shut Mills and Waddle down.
Yes.
That's something that needs to be talked about because I was saying it going into the game. We were all talking about it, man. Sauce and DJ have been unbelievable.
Yes.
They are literally the best.
And Carter.
Carter.
Yes.
Michael Carter II has been amazing too. He has been. But Sauce and DJ as a duo are literally the best duo in the NFL. It's crazy to think about. They're the only 2 guys that are in the top 10 on the same team. So they're the best duo in the league. So we all came in like, okay, this is the test week. This is the week to see, we know they're great. We know they have a lot of potential. What are they going to do against Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle?
Nothing.
Oh, man, they, like Sean said, they shut them down. The 2 of them together didn't even have 100 total yards.
Yes.
That's amazing.
I'm so glad you brought that up.
When they asked Saleh, he mentioned that. He said that we held their 2 big receivers to minimal yards to hold those guys down the way we did. He's like, I thought it was awesome. So, yes, Sauce and DJ totally locked it down. Michael Carter II is amazing too, but man, those 2 guys, not enough appreciation. They are the best corner duo in the NFL. They had to prove it this week, and they did. Hill and Waddle together didn't even have 100 yards.
I know.
I
love it.
Guys, before the NFL draft, I was huge on Kyle Hamilton. I was looking at these guys. I watch college football pretty faithfully, right? And I'm looking at Kyle Hamilton. I'm like, I like this guy, man. I really like this guy.
Yeah.
It changed when I watched the Cincinnati and Alabama game when Sauce shut down their number 1 receiver, and we all know who that guy is.
Yeah.
When I saw that, I was like, this Sauce guy is serious. I was I was keeping my eye on him, but I was like, he's really not playing any dominant wide receivers, man. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I was kind of on the fence with him. I was like, he'll probably get to the NFL and get cooked. That's what I'm thinking. And even though Cincinnati lost their game, but if you guys are familiar with their game, Sauce was absolutely on fire, man. And when I saw that, my mind absolutely switched. I was like, we have to take him with number 4. We have to take. Yeah,
have to. People thought I was crazy. I'm like, no. We're in one of the toughest divisions in the National Football League. That's Hill, Waddle, and you have Diggs and Gabriel Davis. No, you gotta get a strong corner.
Yes,
always.
Yes, and at that time I was like, oh, Sauce and Hall will be locked down, right? I was like, Hall did great for us last season. I'm like, you put him as a number 2. And you have Sauce as the number 1. And man, what did we do? We went and signed Reed. I was like, okay. I didn't know much about Reed. I have to be honest.
Yeah,
I didn't know much about Reed until we signed him. When we signed him, I started to look into him, and I was like, wow. I'm like, wow. So we literally have Bryce Hall, Reed, Carter, and when we drafted Sauce, of course. And I'm like, and we have Sauce. I'm like, this is beautiful. I'm like, this is beautiful, man. Absolutely.
It's one big happy family. So Sean said also that the run game was impressive, but a negative is our run defense hasn't been impressing me. If this team wants to go into Green Bay with that run defense needs to improve. And he's correct. On third down, we are not good at the running, at stopping the run. And Green Bay's got one of the best running duos in the National Football League. But here's the thing that I'm going to bring up before I want your guys' take on this. Green Bay, did you see that game today? Did you see that game today?
I did. Against
Rodgers
New York.
Does not look like the same Rodgers. He is bumming on his wide receiver position. He does not look the same. I think they're a winnable team now. And they have a couple injuries in that game as well. So, Harrison, I'm going to start with you. What do you think about that?
Well, hey, man, I mean, if you would have asked me halfway through the third quarter,
yeah, I know, right?
My take would have been very, very, very different. But man, that was just unbelievably impressive. And we've seen it all season, right? That's the one thing Robert Saleh has been pounding in about these guys. They're a young group that just doesn't have quit in them, that they fight to literally the last drive. And there's just such great chemistry between these guys. There's just, I can't remember. I mean, even the Rex Ryan years, I don't even think they had this kind of chemistry in the locker room.
I agree.
This is unbelievable. You saw it in the video Sauce and Brees put out. Like, Sauce was joking around. He's like, shit, I thought I was going to get Rookie of the Week. And then Brees came in and rushed for 1,000 yards.
Right.
They love each other. Like, it is just such amazing camaraderie. And they're killing it. Like, they asked Brees about that, man. They asked Brees literally about, how this, the impressiveness of this rookie class. And, man, I love it. He even said that all of us rookies, were literally talking about it together on the field at the end of the game. And he's like, yo, bro, we were actually just talking about, we're so good. He said, we have so much potential to be so good. And man, this draft class.
Oh dude.
Like, and if you look at the last one too, I mean, last year's draft class was unbelievable on its own, but we got the quarterback, right? We took the quarterback that I used. We took the quarterback at 2. If Zach, as he is becoming the guy, that whole draft class, these two, unbelievable, man. I mean, last year, Zach and AVT, right? Elijah Moore. This year, it's crazy what Sauce is already, what Garrett Wilson is, what Brees Hall is already. It's unbelievably, man. Unbelievable. And,
We have to give a good shout out to Brayton man. He's been looking pretty good these last couple games, dude.
Yeah, bro. After that second punt, I put it out on Twitter. I'm like, is anyone calling for Brayton Mann's job anymore?
Right.
Is anyone looking for punters? I mean, he had that back injury. That was the thing. Like, he hurt his back. He kicked it back. And then everyone's hating him. But, man, I don't think there's anyone calling for his job anymore.
No, not anymore.
I gotta eat that receipt. Yeah, I got to eat that receipt. Yeah. See, well, here's the thing. During that era, I'm like, okay, I get it. I get it. But like, I'm not even a Zerline fan, but I want him to do well. But it's one of those things where, man, once he started to get it going, I was like, okay, all right, we're good again.
Right.
Like, well, he'll be fine again. Right. Show we lost you for a second. You good?
Yeah. Can you guys hear me now?
Yeah. We're good. Okay.
Okay.
Just want to make sure.
All right, good. Okay.
But yeah, But yeah, overall, now I'm not. I got to eat that tomorrow. That's one of my bucket lists to do it tomorrow. Hey, show. While we were live yesterday, Brandon called it yesterday that with you that they would blow them out, and we did.
Yes.
And then so who wins Rookie of the Week, Sauce or Brees?
Yeah,
All right,
I'm sorry,
Harrison.
Yeah,
Show, I want to start with you. Show.
Yeah,
let's
start with Show,
with
yeah.
you.
Oh, I'm sorry, man. I'm going with Brees. I love sauces.
Brees? All right.
Yeah, bro, I'm 100% with you, man. I mean, I even put it out right at the end of the game. I'm like, bro, Brees is running it back. Brees is running it back with two back. Because if a Jet is in it, man, he ain't losing. We're going in there and we're voting what? 5,000 times each, give or take. So, man, it's us.
Dude,
I mean, if a Jet is in there, we're winning it. And I mean, Sauce will be in it, but man, Brees Hall is literally 3 yards short of 200 total yards in that game. He was unfreaking believable.
Bananas.
Unbelievable.
Quick question, guys. Do you think it's possible that we could have both Offensive Rookie of the Year and Defensive Rookie of the Year at the end of the season?
Hell yeah.
Do you think
I love it.
Hell yeah.
And we would have thought, hey, I mean, it still could be Garrett or Brees. I mean,
Brees, right.
Garrett's had some crazy weeks. I mean, he can go back to doing that. It's beautiful, man.
I love it, man. I love the position that we're in, man. No matter if we win 6 or 7 games, dude, our future is so bright. Our future is extremely bright right now. I'm proud of my guys.
Dude,
I'm so proud of my guys right now.
But as we know, Liam said Sauce is as advertised. He is correct.
Yes.
I called the Sauce pick and defense score.
Oh, okay, there you go.
That Sauce was going to finally get that pick. Yeah.
So note, guys, like really, Brandon Leon told me like 2 weeks ago, even before the Pittsburgh game, he said Sauce is going to have his first pick against Miami. I was like, I don't see that one. Man, I don't see that one. But he called me. He told me. He told me. He said Miami is going to be Sauce's first pick. When it happened, I looked at him and I was like, you called it, dude. Like, you absolutely called it. So, yeah, shout out to Mr. Brandon for that one.
And then Sean's all about the musical chairs. We got some hearts. Hey, we see
green hearts.
Got worst Sauce in the CB ranking.
Bro, you saw Daniel Jeremiah's rookie ranking, man. That was unbelievable. Yeah. I can't believe, man, a list of 10. And we had 3 guys in it, right? Yeah. Sauce, Garrett, Brees, we're all in.
Yes.
Man, that's unbelievable. Sauce was number 1. He was number 1. So I know him and DJ Reed are easily top 10 corners in the league, making them the best duo in the league. I mean, what he's been putting up. I mean, last week he shut down the whole Steelers team basically himself. I mean, this week, I mean, shit, I think he'll probably be a top 5 corner when the rankings are all said and done, after Monday night.
Absolutely.
And they reshuffle everything.
Agreed.
Yeah.
Agreed.
How about Reed almost had the interception, though?
Dude, I think he was shocked. His face was like, wait, Tyreek pulled that out of my hands?
Yeah.
Tyreek's stronger than he looks. I guess that's what gave him the confidence to think he could tackle Quinnen.
Right.
He's like, I'm tough. And Quinnen's like, fuck out of here.
Stiff arm.
And then we got we got Brandon right here. Jets on Quinnen.
Relish on the Quinnen stiff arm, man.
Oh, jeez, disrespect. Tyreek, dude, you've been talking so much crap, dude.
Right.
You're just unhappy that we got you. And you didn't come to New York because of taxes. Let's just be real.
Being honest, guys, I'm so happy that we didn't get him.
I am too.
If we had, we wouldn't have Garrett. Garrett Wilson wouldn't be a Jet.
Right.
We wouldn't have so many other people. We would have to cut people that have had big contracts. We had to give all
because we have to pay him so much. Right.
He has versus what Garrett's making. Yeah.
Right. So at the end of the day, I'm so happy we didn't get him. Very happy.
Yeah. And then Sean, I've been saying this all season long. We are a first quarter and fourth quarter team. In a second and third, we always disappear.
Yeah.
This game, we were like somewhat second. Definitely a first. Third, not really. But fourth, we definitely came out in the fourth.
Fourth quarter, we've been killing it. No, fourth quarter, we've been insane this year. I think it was, I want to bring it up. I think it was, where is it? I'm going to look it up right here. I think it was one of the Jets reporters. I think it was Eric Allen. he pointed out what the Jets have been doing in the fourth quarter so far this season. It was really impressive. Just gotta.
Could it be the youth? Could it be the youth energy?
Hey,
because they're so young, and all the veterans are like getting gassed out in the fourth quarter. Could that be
it? hey, show.
What's up, my man?
Don't go too much in your microphone. It's
really making
loud.
It too loud. Okay.
Yeah.
Let me adjust the volume a little bit, guys.
Yeah. Go on, Harrison. What were
okay? So here we go. So Eric Allen, one of the Jets reporters, pointed out that so far this season, the Jets have outscored teams 79-20 in the fourth quarter, and that's an average of a 16-4 or a +12. Man, that is amazing. We've been an amazing fourth quarter team.
Wow.
I mean, we want to do it for every quarter, but man, the fourth quarter, which is the one that wins it, the Jets have been absolutely killing it.
That's one of the things that Robert Saleh pointed out. He was like, in this league, you have to win the fourth quarter. And according to those stats, man, we have been doing that. And that's what's making us the Jets that we are seeing today versus the same old Jets. So,
and we talk about culture, man. How about this one? Have you guys caught this one? So one of Breece Hall's questions, they asked him, they're like, okay, Breece, do you prefer to make guys miss or run guys over? He said, I prefer to win football games. Oh my God. I was like, that is a goat. That is the answer of a goat. That is what a goat says. I was like, oh my God, Breece, after a 200-yard game, that is what you said. Oh, I loved it. Oh, I loved every second of that.
Perfect. That is perfect, man. Yes.
Love it. Love it.
And he's a rookie.
Exactly. He's a rookie. If that's the kind of energy exactly you're getting from him, oh man, it's great.
Right.
And I agree with Sean. The chemistry, you're seeing the chemistry now. Like you're seeing it more and more and more. And also what Sean is saying as well, we really need to exercise those third quarter demons. I mean, I think it will come eventually because we got Green Bay, we got the Broncos, still got the Patriots. We still have a lot to learn, but I think we are getting him. But he's talking about Tyreek Hill here. I'm glad we didn't get him either. And oh gosh, I think it's too early for this one.
Woo, he's one of my favorites.
Martin is one of my legends, man. Bro, you know one of my favorite things about Curtis Martin was? I don't know if you guys remember this. In his apartment building, I think he was on like the 29th floor. He was on a high floor. He said every morning for like hours, he would run up and down the stairs of his apartment like multiple times over and over. He kept saying that's what kept him in that amazing shape.
Wow.
I mean, but do you guys compare him to that, or do you think Breece is going to?
I mean, it's too early. I mean,
I think it's way.
We don't know. We'll have to see.
I think it's way too early.
What a game for Breece Hall! Like we could just focus on that. Like what an insane.
Right.
And I know Sean puts question mark. It's obviously like, well, maybe one day. Right, like maybe one day, but man,
I can see it. I can see why you would say that.
Maybe one day, but dude, Breece is he's a special talent. We knew he was a special talent, but it's just like we were saying before with Sauce and Garrett, to be this major of a factor so quick as a rookie is just incredible.
Yes,
absolutely incredible. Like our Sauce can make or break our defense. Garrett and Breece together can make or break our offense. That's the best way to think about it. Those are all rookies.
Right.
I agree.
So guys, what do we do when Max Mitchell is back?
It's a great problem to have, right? I mean,
it's a great problem to have.
It is.
But you still put him back in my opinion.
Oh no, yeah, no. I totally agree. Nate Herbig has been a big surprise, and shout out to Saleh. He actually, he actually made a comment about Herbig. He said he felt like Nate did a great job last week. He said he loves his mentality. He said he loves his approach to the game. He said he's a nasty player, and he does everything you want out of an offensive lineman. Now, you remember last week we talked. I thought he was okay. Like he had a couple of good plays, a couple of bad plays, but again, I'm like, okay, he's going against a guy like Hayward, and he's got a big matchup. He was good. He was very good today.
Yes.
So, man, young dude playing really well. Again, that's a great problem to have. But, yeah, Max, I mean, he's on IR now, so he's at least not coming back for a month. So that's the thing. So we at least have a month where you got Herbig at right guard where he's looked good. Like, I agree. We talked about potentially Mike Reimers, because he was a good player in the past. I mean, heck, I'm fine. I don't even want him to play anymore. I mean, Herbig was looking really good, and AVT. Saleh even said it. He's like, it's a complete testimonial to AVT. I don't know if you heard my joke, but Saleh said the same one. He's like, shit, next week I'm going to see if AVT can throw the ball. That's literally what he said. That's what he said. He's like, we're going to see if AVT can throw it because he can literally do everything. Man, so the offensive line looks great. Max comes back. You could put AVT back at right guard. It'd be an even better offensive line. But, man, it's looking good right now with Herbig and AVT on that right side. This offensive line's looking good. We just got to hope Dwayne Brown can stay healthy.
And also with that, it's one of those things where that was a Joe Douglas specialty. He brought him in off waivers, and I wanted Herbig. Right when we went off waivers, I'm like, we need him. He's a good backup, solid foundation, and he's just a Joe Douglas type of guy. And I'm so glad that we got him. So my next question for you guys, and I'll go around the board again. Olbrook, what are we thinking? Better this game than last game, or still got some things to work on? What do you think? Harrison, I'll start with you.
Yeah, so you remember last week we were saying, that the pass rush was finally there. We finally had a good pass rush against a really bad Steelers offense. We talked about how bad that offense was. Said the same thing about the safeties. We're like, okay, we need to see that consistency. The pass rush was good at times. I definitely saw Carl Lawson and Bryce Huff getting some good pressure. Keyword is at times. Off the edge. And I felt like that's the thing. Quinnen and Rankins also, but again, at times. Like I felt like it wasn't consistent. It was there, but it wasn't consistently there. So I want to see more from the pass rush. That's a big thing for me. I feel like there's way too much talent on that defensive line.
Yes.
But I think the corners, like we mentioned before, without the pass rush, when it wasn't even there and the defense was looking okay, the corners are just like holding this whole thing together. It's because Sauce and DJ just literally, and Michael Carter, like you mentioned, just shut everything down. It's making the defense look better. So the linebackers are looking good. I thought that the safeties, they didn't disappear this week, but they didn't have a big game. The biggest thing for me was the pass rush. I felt like the pass rush wasn't consistently there. So I really want to see more consistency from the pass rush.
Well, I tweeted out, I need this expensive ass D-line to become dominant at some point this season. Sheesh.
They were dominant last week, but that's it.
Right. I love what I saw. I'm not gonna say I love. I enjoyed what I saw today from Ulbrich and the defense. Do I think they need to step it up more? Absolutely. I'm still seeing them play that soft coverage more and more and more. And I don't understand why they're playing so much of a soft coverage. I even saw it on like 3rd and 6, and I'm like, dude, like you're literally giving them the first down. If you're playing a soft coverage and it's 3rd and 5, 3rd and 4, 3rd and 6. So I would like to see them minimize the use of that soft coverage type thing. And as we all are agreeing with right now, I would love to see this defensive line become more dominant. I don't understand why we can't get the pressure as much as we should. We talked about this yesterday, Italy Jet, that PFF, and I know we're all not too big on PFF, but it does give us a foundation to look at. But the PFF rankings had the Miami Dolphins offensive line ranked 32nd in the NFL.
Yeah.
We should have had more sacks. I know we're kind of like being greedy right now. We did get the win, put up 40 points, but it's okay. We're Jets fans. We deserve to be greedy, right? We should have had a few more sacks, man, to go with this game. Right now, I'm very okay with the coordinators of our team at this very moment. You know what I mean? I can still see improvement on both sides. Things that I would like to see them do more. I'm sure you guys too as well. But as of right now, I'm very okay with LaBooth, and I'm okay with Ulbrich. I'm okay with Ulbrich as well, man. I want to see the defensive line. I honestly believe if that defensive line can become dominant, then we're absolutely top 10 team, man. Because now you're taking the other opposing team offense off the field consistently, right? And with that defensive line becoming more dominant, we're already seeing Reed and Sauce dominate their guys. So now you're putting more pressure on the cornerbacks. Now you're going to force, on the quarterback. Now you're going to force the offensive team to turn the ball over more. And we all know that Reed, also Sauce, they're ball hawking cornerbacks, man. They're going after the ball, point blank, period. So Ulbrich, I'm okay with him right now. I'm still on the fence with him. He's not off the hook quite yet, but I'm okay with him. I'm okay with him right now.
You know what's really funny is I was just talking about this last week about Clemens and about Lawson. Lawson did have a good game today. Like he did. I have been waiting for him to step up.
Him and Huff seem very disruptive.
Exactly. And I was very happy with that. But this one's the MVP of this podcast, this comment.
Ulbrich needs to play more Madden. Bro, I feel like, and we've talked about it before too, I feel like our linebackers are a bit underappreciated, right? Like I feel like they don't get enough credit. Bro, Quan was amazing.
Dude,
Quan, talk about like on Twitter, the best. What are we paying him? What are we paying him? Like $1 million and change? Like he's got to be the greatest million ever, man.
Sign him,
man. Dude, Quan is all over the field. Every time he makes the hit, it's a big one. He makes big plays. Biggest thing for him staying healthy. But man, I put on Twitter yesterday. Him and CJ Mosley are an underappreciated linebacker duo. And when Quincy comes back, that's an underappreciated trio.
Oh yes.
Agreed.
I was so pissed at Mosley when he missed that tackle, man. On was it Mostert? They got the touchdown.
Yeah, me too. I
was like, Mosley, come on, guy. Like, come on, dude. You're Mosley. We make that tackle. You know what I mean? I can understand if it was Sherwood or Nazardine, someone like that. But you are CJ Mosley. You don't miss tackles like that. So, do you guys think that we keep him next season?
I want him to be here the next 3 years.
Yeah,
that's what I want. But here's the thing about him is I can't see Mosley coming back. So we're gonna have to pay one of those linebackers, either gonna be Quan or Quincy. So I think we're gonna pay Quan and we're gonna try and get Quincy back, and then we're gonna draft someone. That's what I think is gonna happen. But you guys might have a different take.
So I look at because I remember I had to look it up because I remember we restructured CJ. I remember he was restructured. So that's why I had to look it up because I'm like, I knew what the number used to be. So I just looked it up now. In 2020, they call it a potential out, but I wouldn't. I mean, if we cut him in 2023, that's almost $15 million of dead.
We save a lot of money. Yes.
I mean, that's a lot of money to lose. I mean, the cap hit is about almost $21.5 million, but almost 15 of that is dead money. So, I mean, CJ is a quality player. He's only going to be 31 years old. I would be shocked. I don't even think the way they restructured the contract, it's almost really like you really can't get out of it until like maybe 2025, unless you want to lose a decent amount of money. But I mean, he's still a quality player. I mean, every week he's putting up. I mean, I have to see how many he put up this week.
I think he's leading his team in tackles, right?
The same thing. I was going to say every week he's good for double-digit tackles.
Right.
Every week he's always good for that. This week Quan did it too, which is freaking awesome. The two of them alone had 20 tackles, which is amazing. I was saying again yesterday, just underappreciated duo. But man, Mosley's awesome. Mosley. I know, people saying, like you said, like, missed a tackle here, missed a play there. It's going to happen. But I was going to say overall, he is a very quality player, and he is the leader and the bloodline of our defense. Like when our team is coming out every game, there's no one other than CJ Mosley leading that defense with family on 3.
Right.
So CJ's the lifeline of that D, man.
I agree.
You know how they say if you don't mention the offensive lineman, it's a good thing. So if you're calling their name, it's probably because they had a penalty. I'm thinking the same thing about Joyner right now. We didn't say anything about Joyner today.
Him and Whitehead did have a quietly good game. No, that's true. It wasn't a great game, but it was a quietly good game.
It was a quiet good game, yes. So is it safe to say that the defense is gelling? Can we say that right now?
I think so. I think we're getting there. I don't think we're there yet, but I think we're getting there. We're off to a good transition. We still got Green Bay, still got Broncos, the Bills, and the Patriots. So I want to see more. Yes, before the bye. I want to see how we are before the bye, like at the bye, and then I'll give my fair assessment.
Okay,
but
fair.
What do you think? What do you think, Harrison? What do you think, Harrison?
On closing the gap?
No, the defense gelling.
I mean, it's like anything. I mean, the corners have been literally locking it down and keeping it consistent. And I've felt since week 1 that the linebackers are underappreciated and playing pretty good. It's like me and Show were saying it really is the pass rush. It really, really comes down to it. Our defense, we knew that when we came in. We saw it with the 49ers defense. I talked about it nonstop since we signed Saleh. Literally, his defense is predicated on a pass rush.
Yes.
I feel like, again, it's just because our corners have been so good and our linebackers have been much better this year that it's made up for it. Like last year, it was much more obvious. This year, it's not. But you still need a consistent pass rush. If that pass rush can become consistent, then this can easily be a top defense.
Yes.
I mean, again, you see Carl Lawson consistently getting pressure. Bryce Huff consistently getting pressure. Quinnen consistently getting pressure.
JFM.
I just don't know why it's not translating.
Yes.
That's the $1 million question that maybe Ulbrich and Saleh got to sit in a room together for a couple of hours and figure an answer out to that question.
Yo, I gotta mention this real quick. This guy, he's a congrats Jets fans because the way our fan base he turned on each other. I've never been so happy to see the Dolphins lose. Thank you, Jay.
What he's saying, the Dolphin fans turned on each other. He's saying
exactly.
Oh, wow.
Yes. But here's the thing: I'm strongly leaning to becoming a Jets fan after today's win over my sad sack of a fan base.
Hey, we'll take you, bro. As Jet fans, we're always here with open arms.
This is the time to do it, man.
Right. And so I'm gonna go back to Sean. I'm gonna go back to Sean here. Imagine if Rex was our defensive coach. He's talking about Rex Ryan.
Yeah.
You know,
it's different philosophies, really. Being honest.
It is. No, it is.
Yeah.
Rex and Todd Bowles did have really excellent blitz schemes. They both really did. They had excellent ones that you sometimes didn't even see coming.
And David Harris
I saw that one.
Mosley.
It's not a fair comparison because
it's
David Harris, you're going back 20 years ago, the linebacker position is a very different position. If he could not make it as a 4-3 linebacker now, I love David Harris. He's one of my favorite Jets of all time. He's not fast enough. He's a guy back in that old traditional linebacker. Man, he was a perfect middle linebacker, but he wouldn't work in this system. You really can't compare them. It doesn't really work.
I don't think it is either because honestly, it's totally two different football eras from when we were
two different
kids.
Players.
Two different players, two different eras, but also different styles of coaching. So it's one of those things where I don't think that's a fair comparison in my point of view. What do you think, Shel?
I agree. It's just two different styles. I guess it just depends on what system you're in, and then you can pick, your poison. I guess if you want. Mosley is a pretty good fit for this system. The young Mosley, the young Mosley would be a absolutely perfect fit for this scheme. You know what I mean?
We do have to remember this is a 30-year-old Mosley with injuries.
Right. So the young Mosley, the Baltimore, or maybe even the first year Mosley that we had. I mean, because I remember, I'm sure you guys do too. That first game against Buffalo.
Sean said,
oh my God, Mosley was insane, and that's the game that he became injured. But before he became injured, man, Mosley was absolutely lights out against Buffalo Bills week 1, his first year with us. I was like, this guy is a difference maker, and you could see it. You couldn't deny it. You know what I mean? That IQ was there. You can still see that his IQ is very high and very sharp. But, of course, with the age, you can see the reaction is not there as well as it used to be. Like I was saying about that Bills game, you could just see his mind and his body was on the same page. He could get it done. He saw the play developing, and he attacked. He's a little different now, but he's still solid. I would still put him, in top 15, top 20 linebackers right now, even at his age. The guy gets it done. But, yeah, it just depends on what style of system you're in, whether you choose Harris or Mosley, one over the other. Either way you go, man, both of those guys are dogs. I like them both.
Okay, I like that. So here's the other Dolphin fans trying to convert to being a Jets fan. This is what he's saying. Actually, the last 2 seasons, you guys drafted guys I want on the Dolphins. And for the team, I'm a fan from the early 70s and cannot believe what our once proud franchise and fan base have now become. I mean, I understand because the Dolphins and the Jets, just like the Browns and stuff, are kind of known, even Jacksonville Jaguars, we're not that great of a team from when we were, our early 20s and stuff. But they had a good team back in the day. So I'm not. I kind of understand. But you guys have a good team going forward. Like you guys have pieces together, and I think they're going to be a good team. But we got Jake right here, my boy.
What's up, my man? Appreciate you, Ricey. Appreciate you, bro. Appreciate you being here. Appreciate you tuning in, man. It's good to see you.
Yeah.
And if we're giving a fair shake, being honest, man, the Dolphins have a good team. Unfortunately, they were hit with a bunch of injuries. That's typically the Jets category. But so to the Dolphins fan who just commented, man, you guys have a good team. He said he's been a Jets fan since the 70s, I believe. You guys have a good team, man.
Right.
And being honest, our division is one of the better or best divisions in the NFL right now.
It has.
Right.
It's become that.
Right.
It has
we're one of the top dogs right now. So, it's literally, being honest, the Dolphins can beat the Bills. We've seen that. I feel like New England can beat Buffalo just based upon New England's coaching staff and New England's defense. The offense is not that good, but the defense is pretty sharp, as it always is. You look at the game today against Detroit. Detroit did not score a single point on New England today, man. And Detroit has one of the most potent offense in the NFL right now. So to go back to the Dolphins guy, man, I shouldn't be saying this. I shouldn't be showing sympathy for the Dolphins right now because we're the Jets.
Right.
But I have to give my man a fair shake, man. I honestly do, man. You guys have a good team. You guys are just hit by a bunch of injuries, and your coach is new. This is his first year. He'll grow. Robert Saleh didn't look that sharp last year. You had a bunch of Jets fans. They wanted his head.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, he's not calling timeout when he's supposed to. Dolphins guys, just keep your head up. But as of right now, I hate to rub it in your face. We kick you guys' ass today.
That's how it's got to be. That's the fun of it, man. You got to talk about it. That's always the fun of
it. So I love that you said that, show. So the last thing I want to talk about is, do you guys see this going in a direction that we can win, including this game, at least 4 out of 6 games? Or do you think 5 out of 6 games? Where are your heads at after this win? Because they have proven this was a big-ass game. This was a big game.
It was.
It was a divisional game.
Mm-hmm.
It was.
It was a test to our franchise and what we can do in our division and the NFL. But Brady Quinn, Stephen A. Smith. So what do you think? Let's go around the horn. Harrison, what do you think?
So like we talked about, like Salah said, the same thing. Division games are so important. They're so important. You got to close that gap. It's not just a win, but it's a win and a loss for a team in your division. It changes everything. And look what it did. We are now number 2 in the AFC East, man. We're sitting right behind the Bills, only by 1 game. It's really freaking awesome. It's a great place to be. So, we mentioned before, this Jet team has consistently not given up, consistently fights to the end. And even in a game like this, where up to the middle of the third quarter, it wasn't going well, they kept fighting, and then it turned. And when it turned, same thing, they kept fighting. And that's what allowed the blowout to happen. So, man, we talked about it before when they asked Zach after the game. Same thing like with Coach Salah. They both said the same thing, that we're looking forward. We won this game, which is great, but we got to keep winning. We have to keep winning games. So that kind of mentality, man, it can keep going, right? Because they're just like, Coach Salah said, same thing with last week. Right when they won that game, the immediate shift was to the Dolphins. Immediate shift is to the next game. And that's the same thing, Zach, Robert Salah said literally the same thing. So, man, I'm excited. I think this can keep going. If they can keep staying hot, they can keep playing well. Small little things change, like the pass rush becomes consistent. The running defense we mentioned wasn't, as good. Small little things happen, but man, this team is trending in the right direction and all the talent is there. So just that mentality alone of, we had this huge win, double digit, huge division win. It's about the next game. It's about the next game we play and how many more wins can we get. So I love that, man. And it's just sky's the limit. Let's just keep, like Zach Wilson said, let's just keep stacking the good days and let's just keep winning.
I agree. He's already looking forward to the next game too. It's so cool. I love hearing all that. And it's so funny in the chats. I don't know if you're reading the chats about there was one. There was one wants to jump. It's not the bandwagon. Sweet game by the Jets. Oh, here we go. He said, testify to everything on what we're all saying. Show. Now you. What do you think?
All right, what was the question again? My internet was going crazy, guys. I'm sorry I missed the question. It was like, I'm sure you guys probably saw it, man. I'm sorry about that. All right, what was the question again?
My last question. Since we can beat some of these teams coming up, at least 4 or 5, maybe 6 out of 6 teams. Are we headed in the right direction after this, including this game, because this was such a big game?
My answer to that question is absolutely yes. Absolutely yes. These last 2 games have definitely proved it, man. You look at the Pittsburgh game, it was Zach's first game back, and this is Zach's second year. You're coming back from missing, X amount of games your second year, and you come back and win the game. Not only did you win the game, you won the game in the fourth quarter with a few minutes left in the game. That speaks volumes on what kind of mindset Zach has, what kind of coaching staff we have, what kind of mentality the team has in general. Just looking at the Pittsburgh game. And now you come into your first home game victory, and these guys were lights out, man. These guys were absolutely lights out. I don't see any reason to doubt these guys going against Green Bay, going against Denver, in the next coming games. So if you're talking 6 games, out of those 6 games, can we win 4? I'm going to say hell yes. You know what I mean? Like I can absolutely see it, guys. I can absolutely see it. We have everything that we need. We just need, like Harrison and I were saying, man, we just need that defensive line to become more aggressive and more dominant. If that clicks, or when it clicks, we're going to be a problem. We are absolutely going to be a problem. Absolutely. And you're talking Quincy Williams coming back with the way Quan is playing, the way Mosley is playing. Dude, man, this team is going to be crazy. This is arguably one of the most talented teams I've seen my Jets have, man.
Yes,
I'm elated, and they're young. They're young. Can you imagine 2 years? Can you imagine 2 seasons, 3 seasons from now? The way these young guys are looking right now, the confidence that come with keep playing and keep playing. Like Saul, I like to say all the time, like you're getting your scars. You know what I mean? You just make sure these young guys remember these scars so they don't make the same scars over and over again. So when you're getting, you want to marry both the C's. You want to marry the youth energy with the veteran knowledge. If you can marry both of those together, man, you're going to get a spectacular team. And being honest, I think we're on the road for that spectacular team.
And not only that, we're not on a timetable. The Bills are on a timetable to win a Super Bowl because in the next 2 or 3 years, they have to pay some of these guys. So we're sitting nice and relaxed. I'm very happy where we're going. So, guys, I just want to say thank you for coming on the channel. Guys, we do this every Sunday, 5 p.m. Central Time, 6 p.m. Eastern Time, and 3 p.m. Western Time. Boys, where can they find you?
So if you guys find me, you can find me on YouTube right down here, the Take Flight Spit and Fire podcast. Would love if you guys could subscribe to the channel. Be greatly appreciated. I do my show Monday nights. It's live 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Please check it out. It'll be going on tomorrow night. We have an awesome, great time. Sometimes have a bunch of good guests on. I've had Gino on before. We have a freaking great time. You guys bring your comments up in the chat. We talk about it. We chat it up. So please join me. It's again Monday nights, 7 p.m. I put content out throughout the week. You can find me on Twitter as well at NYJetsTF Media. But I would absolutely love if you guys could subscribe to my YouTube channel. And again, that's the Take Flight Spit and Fire podcast.
Awesome. Show, where can they find you?
They can find me at any Dolphins arena, any Dolphins establishment, talking crap. I'm just kidding, Dolphin fan.
That's it. That's it. That comment of the night.
I'm just kidding, Dolphin fan. I'm just kidding. I won't be there.
No, they can. They can find me doing this.
The gritty.
Oh,
they can find me doing this on the YouTube.
I love it, bro. I love it. You got the gritty going. Nice. Bro, everyone was saying how on point Zach's was. Like, everyone's like, that was on point.
Oh, man, he looked good doing it, man. I was shocked. I was like, okay.
Okay.
Not only is he
Go.
not only is he good with moms, he's good with dancing too. I like this quarterback.
Oh my God. Yeah, he definitely ain't Mormon. He's definitely not Mormon.
Exactly. But no, guys, you can find me on Twitter at the description that you see at the Jet Show on Twitter. You can also follow me or find me on YouTube, of course, the same name, the Jet Show, show without the W at the end. And also, I would like for you guys to like, comment, subscribe, come and visit us here every Sunday at the times that my man gave you. We will be here enjoying Future Jets win, and like, comment, subscribe, guys. Come back for more. I love seeing you guys here. I love being with these two gentlemen, man. And let's keep winning, and let's keep the positive energy going, man. Go Jets as always.
Awesome. Guys, thanks for all the comments. Everyone who has supported us three in our journeys in the Jets community and Jets podcasting. Me and Liam will be back tomorrow night, 7 p.m. Central Time, 8 p.m. Eastern Time for Victory Monday. This is where you can find us, and you can find me as well. Guys, be safe. Don't get too drunk. Kidding. You do what you got to do. Love you guys.
Peace out, guys.
Peace.